How many of you guys just feel like you get to a point in your life and you're like, let me do a little reflection. And then you're like, how am I still here? There's so many adversities in life that's just slapping us in the face. Not alone like trying to make bills work, trying to eat sensibly, you know, trying to basically improve yourself. And it always just seems like we always fall short, no matter how hard we try. We have the intention, we have the love and desire to get it down, and sometimes we have the downright desire just to get things done. But sometimes you just don't know where to start. So you try to listen to people, and all of a sudden they just lead you into a more confusing path. So now it gets down to, I want to do better. How can I? And now your nemesis of math comes calling. And you're like, I thought we were done with this relationship. But here we are. Now you're trying to find a way to increase in your grades. Now you're trying to find a way that will not only help you to achieve the goals that you want, but be able to break it down in its simplest form so you can understand it. Good morning, Miss Lewis. Well, for those that are not sure who I am, my name is Audrey Codner, and I'm the owner of Math by Audrey, which is a whole bunch of math systems and a learning system that will help you achieve or raise your grades and your understanding of anything that's going to be on the Algebra 1, 2, maybe the GED if you're trying to get the GED math, the ASVAB, the Accuplacer, the TEAS test, the HESI test, and some parts of the general GREs. And to really give you that guidance and a little bit of encouragement so you'll be able to achieve your goal. So what I like to do is last night / early this morning, couldn't sleep. I don't know, stress of the world just kind of keeps running in my head. And then I was like, well, I know one thing that people are struggling with is word problems. But then someone mentioned that functions is a little confusing. So what did I do? I made some function cards. So what we're actually going to do today is take a look at some of these said function cards and to see what clicks. But let's warm up the brain first, okay? And yes, it's dark in here. And yes, my ring light completely died. And yes, because of life, I just have to keep going just like this. Okay, so let's wake up our minds. And right away, when you see a word problem, how are you feeling? And I'm going to ask this each and every time. You see a word problem, how are you feeling? Thank you for all that are popping in, popping out. Okay. You can put it in the chat. I try to create a safe space. Okay, I try to create a safe space. No more like, oh, you got it wrong, you're dumb. No, we're not doing that. And if you're already like, oh man, this is so easy, this is not the platform for you either. Okay? Yep. So you're thinking how much? Okay. Okay, new. You're giving I see you. Thank you so much. So I know a lot of us, when you see a word problem, before you even try to attempt it, it freaks you out. Because it's a reminder of years past when you were first introduced to word problems. And someone said, it's so easy, why don't you get it? Then you feel real small. Then you're like, you know what, I'm not going to try ever again, because this feeling that I have inside me, I feel like my heart has reached my knees. I feel like my stomach just wants to empty everything that's out there. And you're like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. So what do? You stop. Okay? Miss Lewis, how you start? Exactly. So let's take a look. All right. We don't really have to start by reading the whole thing. That's where I think a lot of us go wrong. Okay. So we need to look at what is the question. So if I take a look at the question and it says, how much did each iced latte cost? When I go to the question, that helps me to figure out what should be my variable. What is going to be that spot that we're looking for? So I can use a capital L for latte, because if I use lowercase l, it looks weird. All right. Okay, so it's basically the number of lattes, or money of cost of latte. So now, since we have our unknown, now we need to look at it like a detective. What is the clues that they're giving us? Well, in the very beginning, they're saying that Leo bought 3 iced lattes and a breakfast burrito that cost $8.50. So here's my question to you. What cost $8.50? Because I know if I read this, especially when I'm hyped up, I'm tired, I feel completely emotionally drained because I'm taking a test and the time keeps clicking, keeps ticking on by. Okay? So Jade, thank you. Mr. LARP, I think that is. Thank you, I see your answer. Okay? So that $8.50 is not representing the 3 lattes and the breakfast burrito. The $8.50 is similar to what Jade said. It's going to be just the breakfast burrito. But then it says if it's total bill, so total, anytime I see the word total, that's a summarization. That means something was added together. And they're saying before taxes was the $24.25. So if I'm going to set this up, I have 3 iced lattes, and the L is representing each of those lattes. So that's 3L. Okay, the breakfast burrito was $8.50, $8.50. His total meaning we're adding those two together, and we can get the summarization. And the summarization is our $24.25. Okay, this is one way. I'm going to tell you what the other way is. Okay, I like to do one way at a time. So this is one way how we can set up the equation. Everything was verbiage. First you go to the question so you have an idea of what the variable should be. Then you're taking bits and pieces. You're not reading the whole entire thing. You're taking bits and pieces of what is being given to you. Read the paragraphs as a detective, not so much as a person reading a novel. All right? So then we'll have to do our solving. So our goal, since we want to know how much is a latte, okay, so we need to solve for the L. So first up, we need to get rid of our positive $8.50. So in order for us to get rid of things, we have to do what's called the inverse. So that means we're going to subtract the $8.50 on both sides of the equal sign. Because whatever you do on one side of the equal sign, you have to do on the other. So what happens? A positive $8.50 and a negative $8.50, that will give me 0. Okay? We do not need to put the 0 as a placeholder because we still have this 3L left on the left-hand side. Just bring it down. So since we're subtracting $24.25 and $8.50, let's do our subtraction. 5 minus 0, that gives me 5. Borrow from the 4 to make it into a 3. Make this 2 into a 12. Now I can subtract it. So 12 minus 5, that gives me 7. Align the decimal point. So now I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, why don't we make that 2 into a 1 and then add here? Why not just subtract 23 minus 8? Because even if you borrow from the 2 to make that into a 1, and then you make this 13, and then you have your 13 minus your 5, so that will give you 5. Why not just say, what's 23 minus 8, which gives you 15? Okay. Alright. So now we're going to divide, because 3L means 3 times L. So that means whatever the cost of 1 latte is, if you multiply it by 3, you would get the rough cost before taxes of 3 lattes. But since we want to do the inverse, we want to find out what 1 latte is, you're dividing everything by 3. So that gives you how many 3's can go into 15? That will give you 5. How many 3's can go into 7? That'll give you 2, with the remainder of 1. And then instead of this being a 5, it'll be a 15. So how many 3's can go into 15? That'll be a 5. Okay. Okay, Lovely Bones, what are you saying? Oh, okay. I was like, what's happening here? Okay. So what you found, the L was supposed to be the latte. So this is the cost of 1 latte. Now, did we answer the question? Always go back to the question. How much does each iced latte cost? Well, it costs $5.25. All right. Hello, General. How are you? I got you. Thank you, Lovely Bones. All right. So, if you want to do it with mental math, all right, I know my total. So if I bought a book, and if I just want to know what one of the iced lattes is, you're going to do exactly what you did algebraically. You're going to subtract the 850 out of the 2425, okay, get your 1575, and then you divide by 3. Okay, so I like to set it up like this so you can visually see it. And then when you do the solving, it's funneling its way down to your answer. Okay, well, thank you, sir. All right, hello, Brenda. How are you? Good morning. Okay, so this is just solving the equations, going from a verbal, which is a word problem, and especially for those that are doing the ASVAB, you know, getting yourself into the military. A lot of you guys get freaked out about the the arithmetic reasoning. All it is word problems. But if you go to the question first to figure out what your variables should be, then you're pulling information from, and then you're setting up your equation. You guys know how to solve an equation. You just have to relax and go through the steps. Yes, Dreamboat. And go through the steps. Alright? So now, what I want to try out, if you don't mind, working on functions. And for some reason, this gets a lot of people. So I figured I should design And I think I might actually put these together a little bit better. So we have a function here. There we go. See? Fixed it. So if you were given this, f of x equals 1/2 x plus 6. And they say find the f of 8. The only difference between this and some of the equations that you fought, they're just making your equation, your y value, as a function of x. Okay? Notice, inside the parenthesis we had an x. Inside of this parenthesis we have a number. So all we're doing is taking your value, what's inside the parenthesis, and you're substituting in for the x. That's all you're doing. So when you see something like this, hello my GED people, my Algebra 1 people, all you're doing is substituting. So when you have this 8, all you're doing is taking that 8 and plugging it in for the x. So you saw a fraction and immediately you wanted to freak out. No. So the f means the function of x. Now, anytime you see it like this, you're going to have what's called a function notation. Okay? So it could be the f of x. You might see it as a g of x. Sometimes there's an h of x. Okay? Any variable. No matter what this is, all of this is saying the same thing. It is your y values. It is a function. Just like your y's is like your dependent variables and your x's are your independent variables. So your dependent variables depends on what's going on with your x values. So if I say miles per hour, the number of miles you drove depends on how many hours you were driving. Okay? All right, good morning, bundles. So now for this particular one, you're doing 1/2 of 8. So think about it. Don't freak out. If you're doing 1/2 of 8, you have 8 items and you need to take 1/2 of it. You're dividing by 2. That's exactly what this is saying. Okay, when you multiply 1/2 of 8, which that will give me 4. Then I bring down my plus, and I also bring down my 6. So that's why 4 plus 6, that gives me 10. That's why the f of 8 equals to 10. Alright, hello film artists. So this is where everybody is getting the answer of 10 from. So you substitute what was supposed to be inside the parenthesis for x, and you plug it into your equation that we did right here. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're finding, hey Big G Money, okay, alright, what you're finding is, Brenda, be careful, the value of your x value is 8, and your function of 8 equals 10, that's your y value. So what you just found, ladies and gentlemen, is an ordered pair. So if I were to look at this equation, I just found the point when my x value is 8, my y value is going to be 10. You just found an ordered pair. Okay. You're up early and just waking up? Yeah. I have to come on early. I have to come on early now on. Alright. Let's try another one. There you go. Not that one. Not yet. Let's try this one. So right now I'm just trying these cards out. Like when I say fresh off the press, they are fresh off the press. Okay. So Mr. LARP, I see you. Stephanie Dimples. With Donna, I see you. It's Nunya, I see you. Bundles of Blessings, I see you. She, I see you. Ivy, good morning. Is that Ave? I see you. Miss H, you don't even know where to begin. I got you, Miss H. Okay. Alright, TL, I see you. Thank you so much. Alright. Windsor, I see you. Thank you so much. Brenda, I see you. My pistol from another mister, I see you with 4. Okay, Oli, I see you. Okay, Buyer, I see you. Okay, Ivy, I got you. From the Philippines, well, good morning. Okay, Miss Lewis, I see you. And Nay, I see you. Alright, let's take a look. So for the first thing, first part, we have what's called an absolute value. Okay, when you see a single line vertically like this, it's called the absolute value. And the absolute values is basically your distance away from 0. So if I look at a number line, here's my 0. And if I wanted to look at, say, the absolute value of 5, well, the absolute value of 5 is going to be 5. Because I am 5 units away from 0. So the absolute value of negative 5 is also 5. Because that's 5 units away from 0. Although it's in the negative, although it's going in the negative direction, it's still 5 units or 5 feet or 5 inches away from 0. So this is why when you see absolute values, it's always going to be a positive number. So what we're doing, we have the h of x. So remember what I said earlier. It doesn't matter which type, which letter is here. It's just telling you which function you're going to use. Okay? So we're saying that h of x, which is the same as saying my y value. Notice we have to find the h of 3. Notice the 3 and the x are both in a parenthesis. So that means we're going to take this 3 and plug it in to that equation or expression for the x. Yes. Okay? So now let's solve this. So we have the absolute value of 3 minus 7. Okay? So inside, remember PEMDAS, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, or Bob Moss for my international people, your brackets, your other, then your division, multiplication, addition, subtraction. We have to do what's inside the absolute value. So 3 minus 7, that gives me a negative 4. And just like we mentioned earlier, for the absolute value of a negative number, is going to be its positive counter. Because it is, if it said 4, that means we had negative 4. Doesn't mean that it's negative. It means it's 4 units in the opposite direction. Okay? So that's how everyone is getting 4. So to close it up, what you just found, if I were to graph this, for my x value of 3, there will be a point at 4. You found an ordered pair. Okay? So for the answer, the official answer is usually written out like this. You just repeat the h of 3, and you just put your answer equals 4. Okay? Alright? Okay? Not too overwhelming. Step by step. Okay? All we're doing is just plugging in. So we know how to substitute. Exactly. See, now this probably was something that was a barrier to you. You probably saw it and said, nope, that's another language. Well, math is another language. It is a language of its own. All right? But what happens if I do this? Now, all of these, if anything, before I get to the next one, tell me about them. Do you like these cards? Does it make sense? Is it like, okay, that was cute, Audrey. You don't have to make any more of those. Is it something that you're like, you know what? I need this in my life so I can do tons of practice, so I don't have to like ask ChatGPT and then pray that the answer is correct? All right. Please let me know, because I need some sleep. Because these things is not super easy just to put these things together. Like, it takes time. Alright. Okay, a lot of sense. Well, thank you. Alright, explain it so well. Thank you. I appreciate it, Philmaris. I appreciate that. Now, are these cards? Because if not, I will stop making the cards. I think I made like 27 already. I know it's a little cockeyed. There we go. Okay. So I want to do like 2 more. Okay. So Big G Money thinks it's -1. Okay. Bundles of Blessings is -1. Okay. Ew. Hello. Alright, thinks it's -1. I think it's -1. We got a +1. Alright, we got a -1. Okay, negative turns positive. Alright, well, let's take a look. So, we have our g of x this time. Still, it's just telling me that this is going to be a function. So we have the g of x equals -x minus 4. So I look, the x and the -3, because we're trying to find the g of -3, are both in the same spots. So that means this -3 is going in for the x, and the x only, okay? So that means it's really going to be a negative, substituting for the x, minus 4. What's going in for my x is the -3. Okay, this is how they get you. So now, using PEMDAS, I need to take care of the multiplication that's happening right here before I do the subtraction. So a negative times a negative, that's going to give me a positive. So we got a +3. Okay? Bring down your minus 4. So now we combine 3 minus 4, or 3 plus a negative 4. Okay, no matter what, this minus sign is acting as a negative. So if I have $3 and I want to spend $4, that means I am short $1. Yes, good. So that means the g of negative 3 is equal to negative 1. Alright? How are we feeling? Okay, Cole, I see you. Marvel, I see you. Pascal, I see you. Oops, as I'm knocking things around. So would x still be negative 3? Yes, x is still going to be negative 3, and your y value is going to be negative 1. Yes, ma'am. Got it. Okay. You're so welcome. Alright. Okay, negative 1. There you go. Did you say negative times a negative is a positive? Yes. Yes. Anytime you're multiplying or dividing and the signs are the same, your result will always be positive. And that's only for multiplication and division. But if you're adding and the signs are the same, you keep the sign. Okay? Alright. So let's step up and step out. Okay. Give it a try. Don't freak out. Just give it a try. Is that Rufus? Okay, I see you, Rufus. Okay, don't even know what you're looking at. That's alright, sir. It's alright, sir. Because right now we're looking at function notation. So I'm going to break it down in a moment. Okay, so bundles, I see you. Alright. Okay, my star child, I see you. Okay, EFG, I see you. La Damian. I'm taking an estimated guess. I see you. Mr. LARP, I see you. Alright. I love water. I see you. Okay. I love how people want to change answers. Why you want to change your answers? You figure out. Focus on you. Okay? Focus on you. Brenda, I see you. Darling, I see you. Dollar sign, yang sign, all the money signs, I see you. Alright, so let's take a look. Think about what we were doing before. Okay? Before, whatever was in the parenthesis, we substitute for the x in the expression. The same thing is happening here. Just because there's an expression that's inside the parenthesis does not mean you change the rule. Whatever's inside the parenthesis is going in for the x. So that means if we're looking, we got our 4 times this expression. And what this expression is x minus 1. Okay? So the x in the original has been replaced by this whole entire expression, x minus 1. So now we're going to distribute. If I have an expression being multiplied by a single number, I should be getting an expression back as my answer. Okay? So when I distribute everything. I distribute that 4 to everything inside the parenthesis. Okay? Alright, 2%, I see you. So now, 4 times x gives me 4x. 4 times a negative 1 gives me a negative 4. Okay? Alright? Okay? This is a breath of fresh air, I know, usually. Okay, do you see it now? So all we did, because if they give you an expression to do the substitution, you should be getting an expression back. Okay? When they gave us, so that was the answer of this one. When they gave us a number to plug in, we got a number back. Okay? So that's how we got that. Alright? So that means you have your h of x minus 1 equals your 4x minus 4. So it looks intimidating. Okay? How are we feeling? Where were my people that were just like, I don't know even what I was thinking. Sir, how you feeling? Alright. Okay, how are we feeling? Dudes in high school, I love some of these problems, I forgot all about it. Yep, it's alright. Well, welcome back. A nice little refresher, right? Your head and your stomach hurts? Okay. Lost? Okay. So when did you get here, Bar? Maybe that could be it. Okay? Because all we're doing is substituting. So now, and if you got here a little bit later, that's fine. Because if anything, give me a few. Because I can definitely put the replays. Let's see if I can get this on my YT channel. So you can take a look. I just put it into the chat. So if you need all the replays, you can just go to YT and go to Math by Audrey. Alright. So these were just some cards that I decided to put together. Exactly. Right? Exactly. Thank you, 3M. Thank you for that. Because that's exactly what a lot of people do need to hear. Because I used to be I hate math. And now look at me. This is just God right here because this was not my plan. So far from it. Alright. So now, okay. Euphis, I see you. Firework, I see you. Alright. Okay. This is grade 6 math. It's algebra. So some people have it in 6th grade, some people see it in 7th, some people see it in 8th, some people would see it in 9th grade. Okay, maybe people have never seen it at all. So I'm really focused on the people that struggle with math, that are afraid of math. Working on what I like to call that math phobia, working on that math trauma. And it could be one teacher, it could be one situation, but I really want to show you that you can do this. Alright? So we're going to take it step by step. So now we have a word problem. Just like before, we're not freaking out. But then here's the thing. Oh yeah, tons of people got traumatized with math. Okay. So let's take a look at this. Hey Mel, y'all, he came at the perfect time. We're doing the word problem section again. It's just like, what? Anytime they give you, and I mean give you, an equation, that's basically half the problem. I don't need to read anything else. Here's the equation. They tell me to find what h of 2 is. Notice the 2 and the t are in the same spot. So what do you think I'm going to do? What do you think I'm going to do? Put it in the chat. What do you think I'm going to do? Plug in the 2. Yep. For the t, we're going to substitute. Thank you. Substitution. There you go. Damn right. Here we go. Bundles of blessings. Substitute h for t. Not the h, but plug 2 where t is. Yes. Substitute. Yes. Hassan. Yes. I see you. Balaam. I see you. Christian. I see you. HM. I see you. Okay. Jimmy. I see you. All right. So all we're doing is plugging in the 2 for wherever I see t. Now the only difference between this problem and the other problems, we have 2 t's. Okay? All right? Just solve it. Damn right. Let me correct you. Okay? I take things step by step. If this is too much for you, you can easily scroll by. But here, now that you put anything in, I'll see you in the algorithm, cousin. Okay? All right. So now, we rewrite. Yep, we're going to plug in the 2's for the t's. So we have negative 16. We have our plus 40. And we have our plus 5. So wherever we had a t, we're plugging in a positive 2. So now this is your practice of order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally from left to right. So inside our parenthesis, we only have a single digit, so we don't have to worry about our parenthesis. But now we do have an exponent. What is being raised to the second power? Okay, what is being raised to the second power? Yes, the 2. Only the 2 is being raised to the second power. So we're not multiplying negative 16 and 2 and then squaring it. This is probably why some of you guys are getting funky answers. Hello, my Faith, how are you? Okay, and that will give me 4. Yes, Bellum, thank you. So now we're going to bring down the negative 16, bring down our 40 times 2, and the plus 5. So exponent, boom, done. So now we're working from left to right our multiplication or division. So now let's take a look. From left to right, I'm starting here with my negative 16 times 4. So negative times a positive will give me a negative. So 16 times 4, that will give me 64. Because 6 and 4 is 24, carry the 2. 4 and 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. Now we get to do it again as I bring down the plus sign with my 40 and 2. Okay, so 40 times 2, that gives me 80. then I bring down my plus 5. Okay. Thank you. All right. Now, going from left to right. Don't start assuming and combining. So now we took care of the multiplying and dividing. That's all done. So now from left to right, we need to combine the 80 and the 64. Excuse me. Okay, so now we're going to do our subtraction. So we're going to borrow from the 8 to make into a 7, so that'll be a positive 1. Alright, and then that 10 will be a 6, so we have a 16. Plus 5. So this is where everyone's getting 21. Okay? It's not 149. Thinking too much, you forgot the negative. Okay. And that's fine. We make those adjustments. Okay? We'll just make those adjustments. It's okay. Because here's my thing. We live in a society where we want to get instant gratification. When it comes to math, just a small little thing can throw everything off. So what you found was, what is h of 2? Let me pick this up for a second. And h of 2 is equal to 21. Okay? It's not about who gets it first, who gets it last. It's about you getting it so you can raise your score and you can go after whatever dream you want to go after. Okay? It's all right. Okay. All right? Okay. So, let's see if I can find that other one. All right. This will be my official last one for today. I know, I'm doing a lot. Because a lot of these cards that I'm showing you today, guys, I just created. I'm not sure if it's something that you guys really want. So, I'm trying it out on you guys. To see if it is something that you really want. Okay. What level is this? It's basically like Algebra 1. It's a lot of Algebra 1. So it's really good for, especially for those that are taking their GED, the ASVAB, the Accuplacer, the TEAS test, the HESI test. And basically trying to do like an introduction of algebra. So this will be good for those, you know, I hate to say it, before you know it, it's time to go back to school. Actually, today's the 7th, so a lot of schools that I currently tutor, they're actually going to start back with their teachers in about a month. So this is what we're doing. All right. So I see you guys' answers. Thank you so much for the love and the attention. Okay, so I'm seeing some 3s. I'm seeing some 94s. Hey, Jesus, how are you? Okay, prayed to you today. Okay, Miss Shauna, thank you. Damn right, I see you. Okay, Milan? Or is it Mila? Alright. Okay. Alright, you left out the negative. Okay. Alright. No, I do not do integrals. Alright. I'm alright. Okay, Miss Lewis, I see you. Veer, I see you. Is that Pepco? I think it is. I see you. MT, hello MT. Welcome back. I see you. Is that time? Some of these names. I was like, TN? Is that supposed to be Tennessee, my tiny pants? Okay, some tin, my tiny pants? Something, tiny pants. Okay, I see your answer. Alright. Okay, Bit, I see you. Floppa, I see you, sir. Do you help with the ASVAB on live or we have to pay? But definitely have to pay. That would be tutoring. Okay, because I do have systems that can help you out with that. Alright. Okay, you're out. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so. Not a problem, Ada, not a problem. Alright. So, here we go. This time, take a look where the 16 is. This is where a lot of people are getting things a little incorrect. Take a look where the 16 is. So this time, they want us to find x. So they're telling us that the f of x is equal to 16. So before, we were focusing a lot on what's inside the parenthesis. And notice what's inside the parenthesis is the x, and that's what we're looking for. But this, the substitution is going to be a little different. Because this time, they're saying the f of x is equal to 16. So that means this 16 is coming over here to replace your f of x. So it's going to look like this. You have your 16. It's going to equal your 6x minus 2. Okay? Alright? So this is why I keep getting answers either 3 or 94. It all depends on where you substitute the 16. So now I'm solving this basically two-step equation. I need to isolate my variable. So right now we have this minus 2. So let's do the inverse or the opposite of minus, which is plus. So negative 2 plus 2 will give me a 0, but I don't need that placeholder because I still have the 6x. Then we have 16 plus 2, that gives me 18. So now we need to divide by 6. Because 6x is multiplication, the inverse of multiplication is division. So 6 divided by 6 gives me 1x, or just x. And then 18 divided by 6 will give me 3. Okay? So what you did was find the x. Okay? So it's not 94. Look at where you're substituting. Okay? So this is why, thanks Gur. So this is why when you're solving, and yes, when you take the ASVAB, you have up to 1 minute. A minute is not a second. A minute is not 10 seconds. If you want to know how much a minute is, you take your cell phone, you get out the timer, and you put in 1 minute and sit still for 1 minute. You will realize that it's a decent amount of time, especially if it's problems like these. There's going to be some things, so you're studying for a good low-key. Okay? So this is how it's going to be given. Now, I don't know how things are going in other countries, but if you're taking your GED, you have 1 minute and 10 seconds per question. Reason why I know? Because I used to teach the course. So that's why I also know that when you take the test, all of the questions are not at the same value. You're going to have 1-point questions, 2-point questions, 3-point questions, and 4-point questions. Okay? When you have those 4-point questions, they deal with slope. Okay, these are the things, these are the reasons why a lot of you guys are not passing the test. It's not because you're dumb. It's not because whatever name and all this stuff you want to say to yourself. It's because you have to be strategic. You cannot skip anything that deals with slope, the equation of the line, graphing, system of equations, system of inequalities, factoring, functions. Like this would be considered a 3-point question. Okay? The one that we have with the word problem, that will be considered a 4-point question. You need to get at least 3 4-point questions in order to pass. Don't forget about volume and surface area as well. Those are 4-point questions. And if you skip those and you do really well with the arithmetic, you're still not going to pass because you need to have at least 3 of those 4-point questions in order to pass. Okay, that's how they break it down. Yes, math is universal. Thank you. Okay. All right. Do these problems of the other ones that give me anxiety. And you have to calm your anxiety, Mel. That's why we need to do practice. Okay, that's why I do these cards. And I need for you guys to tell me, the ones that are here, were these cards helpful? Okay, these are like flashcards. Were they helpful? Did they help like guiding? Was it helpful also because you had the explanation with it? Okay, yes, yes. Okay, so I should make more of these combined with word problems, because this is basically what I was doing from 11 to 2 o'clock this morning. Yeah, very helpful. Yes, okay, perfect. All right, so I will create some more so we can have all this. Now, if you want to do some more practicing, yes, please, got you. Okay, I hope to learn math to calculate winning lottery tickets. Don't we all, Mr. Tomato? Don't we all? Okay. As soon as I see a paragraph of words and numbers, I panic. And that's where you have to disassociate. Okay, you got to change that mindset. And the only way you can do it is with, now you know how, and you got videos, and you got me to ask questions to how to break down. And maybe you just need to break it down and have me check it. Hey, that's an idea. Okay. How often am I on? I usually come every day. And I have to come on in the mornings. Because it seems like I get death threats in the afternoons. I don't know. I can't help the color of my skin. I'm sorry. This is how I was born. This is how I was raised. And because I understand it is because I wanted to understand it. So I just have to, yeah. And like, you hate word problems. And then I broke down a couple of word problems. So again, if you want, let me see if I can talk to you like a normal human being, unless it's too dark in here. Okay, it's not too bad. So if you want, I start at 7:45 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. So I know it's probably the butt crack of dawn for a lot of other people. But that's the only time, okay? Maybe more complicated. I'm trying to get it as close to the exams as possible. So if you're looking at something like more for, you know, pre-calc, yeah, that's not going to be it. Okay. All right, 6:45 to you. Okay, 5:44 for you. Okay. All right, you're so welcome, a darling bookworm. I appreciate you. Thank you for saying that, because there are times I wonder if I should keep going, because I want to be more of an assistant to you guys, more than just, hey, let me just entertain you and keep doing stuff, because really I'm here to sell my books, because I've created not just one but a whole series. But I want you to meet me through math. So the best way for me to do it is to take some of the problems and break it down, and to look at what you guys are actually having problems with. So how can we combine the two? So what we have And if you're interested into algebra at your pace, there is a link that's in my profile that will take you directly to my Stan store. And here's the thing, there's a free gift in there. There's like a sample test in there. Okay? 15 question quiz, just so you can see where is your math readiness. And if you want to try that out, you can go ahead and try that out. It's free. Yes, I'm going to ask for the email. The reason why I ask for emails is because I'm kind of curious as who is looking at my stuff. And it's hard for me to do that, especially if I tried to sell my books on the A. But if you want to get those, what are the platinum ones? My degrees. Okay, degree for psychology at St. Joe's University, and my master's, sorry, I had to go in reverse, and my master's degree for teaching and leadership. Okay, yeah, lots of hard work. And you can get one too if you don't already have one. Okay, and I can help you. I don't know. I just feel like, sometimes I feel like, how vulnerable can I be here? And I'm like, screw it. Life's short. If you see me, you see me. If you don't, you don't. If you murder me in my sleep, all right, fine. It was a great ride. What we're doing together, I can only understand when we do it together. See, that's the thing. When you guys collect, and I'm so glad. Shadow in the dark, how are you? I know. Okay, so if anything, message me. Shadow in the dark. It's great to see you. Okay, Bar Boogie, I know for a fact you're not by yourself. So military placement, I got you. Because all these things, and this is the problem, a lot of you guys are watching the videos, you're watching the lives, and you're like, yeah, I got it, I'm connecting. But then what do you do with the information once you're done? You just go to another live and fill your brain with other stuff. So your brain's going to be like, oh, all that stuff that we just spent a lot of time on? Yeah, let's just stick it back there. But let's look at this cat video. Or let's look at a person get kicked in the nuts. That's funny. Let's remember that. Make sure you share that. So all that information just gets wiped out of your head. And then when it's time for you to sit down and try to do it yourself, you're like, what did she say again? What was that again? And then you're spending so much time spinning your wheels trying to figure out. But it's best when you learn it. Now you got to apply it. So now you got to take it. As soon as you learn this, now you got to take it to the next step. And you have to do a little application. You need to do some problems yourself. And then have some kind of guided answer key that you can look at. Not just a bunch of numbers, but an actual video of seeing me break down the problems, and you're like, oh, got it. Because now you're putting it completely in your frontal lobe. Because right now, just watching a video, just filling out PDFs, it's there temporarily. But if you don't do anything with it, it goes. Okay? I have such a soothing voice. Thank you. Because I used to have teachers that yelled a lot. And I'm like, why are you yelling? Like, it's not, by you saying it louder doesn't mean that I'm learning. That's how I was growing up. Yeah, so chill. Exactly. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Black kids. Appreciate you. All right. So this is why it doesn't matter which test you're taking. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a GED, if it's the ASVAB, if it's the Accuplacer. If you haven't seen math in a long time, there is no judgment here. Okay? The fact that you are going back to school, the fact that you want to improve yourself, the fact that you are stepping up, I am proud of you, because that is the hardest thing to do. To say, I need to go into the military because I need to improve my life. I need to do this. I want to get my GED because I saw way too many of my nieces and nephews walking across the stage, and that should have been me. But I had to put myself in the back burner in order to have my friends, my families, my siblings to move forward. Now you're thinking about you. And that's huge. So you should be proud of yourself. Don't come on here and not say anything because you're ashamed. What are you ashamed about? Oh, well, I should know this. Who said there's a time limit? Who said? The test is time, but life, you do what you gotta do. If the good Lord woke you up, that means you can do whatever you want to do. You can always learn. I am that true testament. I used to suck at math. Fractions, nope. Word problems, hell no. Go on with that. And what's the first thing they want to say? Oh, she must be special needs. No, I just was never given the opportunity to have a good teacher that broke it down for me. Because they always treated math as a punishment. They always did math just before recess. Oh, don't you want to get extra time at recess? Let's hurry up. And if you needed a little bit of extra time just to process, you were never given that. Word problems in geometry? Well, geometry, okay. For 20 years I'm so lost and terrified of math. And that's the thing. Let's walk through it step by step. Let's walk through it step by step because I get it. Especially when you haven't been in school for a long period of time. Hey, Jacinda. For a long period of time, and then you're trying to go back, and then you're trying to apply what you learned 20 years ago to a test that's in the present. It's hard to do that. It's really hard to do that. And then you're expected to do a whole year and remember everything. No, because you haven't used that type of math in years. You use arithmetic, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. You use that. But even a lot of that, you use this on this. Or use it on this. So now you're taking a test that you're going to have limited, as I'm having a hot flash, limited access to a calculator. No one wants that. You give me a straight. Because I am you and you are me. And I had to figure out how to work this out. So now I figured it out. But now you're doing for you. And that's awesome. And do not let that stop. It's almost like I went through so much in my life. I've been here for 53 years and I still haven't really embraced life yet. So I feel that I found the platform where I can be me, break concepts down while building people up. Like after I pass on this life, I want people to smile when they hear my name. That's my ultimate goal. Not the fame. The money helps, because we got these bills. And it's not like I'm going to the shoe store every 2 seconds. But you can do it, and you will do it. I don't put this stuff up here to be like, oh, I'm so posh, I'm so this, I'm so intelligent. No, I put this up and say, you can do it. If I can do it, you sure as hell can do it. And you see that man right back there? My daddy. Which will be 10 years of his passing in August. And this time of year is always rough for me. Always. Because I remember driving back and forth from Baltimore to Philly to check on him. And back to Baltimore because I had to be here. I had to get ready for my classroom. And he passed a week before teachers are supposed to go back to school. So we had the funeral, and literally the next day I had to go back to school as an educator. And he watches over me. I know. Trust me. Yeah, he was a ladies' man. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. But, yeah. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Because I feel that I want you, right there, I want you to win. I want you to get that feeling of, I did this. I took an opportunity and I went for it. I did this. No one else. You put in the time. You put in the effort. Not just watching videos, but applying what you're learning. That's why I put together these books. There's tons of them. There's 10 of them. And if you just want practice, that's why I put together these practice books. Okay? That's why I have went a little crazy with the cards that we did today. These are new ones. Okay? That's why I do with inequalities or exponents. That's when we had like the word problem cards. That's why I have a lot of the formula matching cards. So now you can match the name with the formula. Because sometimes we can't remember. So we have to physically, tangible things to help us remember. Okay? Thank you, Mel. Now, will you be doing class soon? I am not in the classroom anymore. So now I've been out for like 6 years. So now I'm an online math tutor. Basically the year that he died, that was my last year at that one particular school. And then I went to what we call baby bookings. So juvenile justice, and I was there for 13 months. Then I loved it. That's how I really learned how to teach and have tangible things, and because everything's a damn weapon in there. This is a weapon. This is a weapon. Okay? Alright, so the simplest things. So now the cards I'm playing around with because I want to finish them off before I sell them to you guys. So the cards that we were doing today. But if anything, if you want, if you go to my profile, see if I can put it up without crying. It's like everybody's crying today. Must be something in the water. Okay? So, I don't know. I think it's just the weather. It's getting all kinds of funky. So, if you go to my profile, just click on my profile picture. Let me clear this up a little bit for you guys. Okay, and when you get to my profile pic, you'll actually see where it says Stand Store. If you just go ahead and click on that, it will take you to my Stand Store. So what I was talking about, that free, is right here. Just scroll to the bottom. And if you want to go to the replays, give me, it's about over an hour. So give me like a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. And if you go here to my YouTube, you will actually see my YouTube channel. Go ahead, subscribe. Go ahead, make life fun. And then you'll actually see all of my videos that I have for the replay. So some of you guys were talking about word problems. I was breaking down word problems for a couple of times. Alright. So sorry. Okay, so you'll have like a whole bunch of videos and all from like my TikToks. Okay? Alright, so if anything, be ready. Oh, thank you, Space Jam. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys so much. So, if anything, just take a look as I'm blinding you. Now the sun wants to come out. Take a look. Now, all of these are ebooks. Okay, gotta emphasize that. Alright, so it all depends on what you want. So, all of my stuff are ebooks. So, if you're looking at for the freebie, go ahead, take the freebie. But take a look. Go ahead and scroll through. When you click on something, it doesn't mean that you're automatically are going to go to the payment page. No, it gives you some information. So if you're like, all right, this sounds like something that I need, or I might need to save up for, or I may want, okay? And if you're just like, yeah, just not right now, then you hit your back arrow. And it'll take you right back to the beginning of the store. Okay? All right, everyone. So, if you have any questions, please message me before you do anything. If you want to go ahead and buy, go ahead and buy. Yep. Ron's got me. I totally skipped them. So stop skipping them. But see, that's the thing. Do the word problems. If you do the word problem and you're like, I didn't get that answer, could you take a picture of it and send it to me on TikTok? Yes, you can. Never thought that you could still interact with me. I'm a human being, okay? Just like you. Okay, my skin tone may be the same or different as you, but guess what? My heart is the same as yours. You want to do it. Okay? Your drive and determination is probably going to be greater than mine, which is awesome. So keep pushing. So if you do the freebie and you're like, hey, Audrey, can you take a look at my answers? Take a picture of your answers. Let me take a look at it. And then I can tell you what the next step is. Because you're not in this journey by yourself anymore. I'm done. Let's just cut the... We don't have to be like best friends or anything like that. You know, I don't want to be too much into your life. But here's my thing. This is a part of your life that you need help with. And if you continue doing what you're doing, which is just watching videos and then doing the occasional PDF, or you might be redoing the PDF that you got for the 8th time, you're just memorizing now. Okay, you're memorizing. You're not learning. So if that is the case, now you got someone that's in your corner that wants you to win. I want you to win. Whatever your next step in life is, and if this test is what's getting in the way, let me help you break through that barrier so you can move on what you need to move on. Okay? All right. Doing the Lord's work, that's what I'm trying. I know. I couldn't do anything without him. Couldn't do anything without him. All right, so let me get off before I get completely teary-eyed. All right, so if anything, if you need anything, please click on my profile pic, send me a message. If anything, go to the Stand store, try it. If you want me to look at your answers, take a picture of it and then let me take a look at your answers. If you have more detailed questions to ask me, please don't hesitate. Hey Janice, how are you? I'm just wrapping up. All right, so have a great rest of your day, and I'm looking forward to seeing messages today. Not tomorrow, today. All right, so definitely give me, I want to say like roughly 40 minutes because now we're going on almost like an hour and 17 minutes. So it might take some time for me to upload. All right, everyone. Okay, good. Please do send the picture. All right, guys, have a great and amazing day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, same time